Welcome back to Instables, everyone. So again, going over my daily plan on exactly how I plan on playing into the SPY. As you guys can see, again, we have been tracking our channel here, looking to see if we will hit the lower end of our channel. Again, this will also be the lower end of a channel, and this is technically our fifth wave if we do continue on lower. So again, we have a channel here as well that we are tracking as far as our Elliott waves. That would be our fifth wave if we did continue on down to the lower end of our overall channel here. So we are looking to see if we continue on lower that we've been having on anticipation leading into Powell, and again, Powell rejecting that possible pivot. However, he did mention that CPI is extremely important, so we're going to see what happens going into next Thursday. Will we continue on lower going into next Thursday, or are we going to hold back and possibly bounce back leading into CPI? I'm going to go over exactly what we're looking for here. Now, before I jump into this, you guys can do me a huge favor, smash that like button if you find this video useful at all. Hit subscribe if you want to see my daily plan on exactly how I plan on playing into the market every single day. We go over candle structure, overall strength levels, and any key indicators that we need to be focused on. And again, if you are a day trader or you are looking for very volatile breakouts that we mention every single day in the Instables, and again, we mention any breakout that is worth looking at throughout the day, go to instables.com in the description below, and you will never miss a breakout alert today again. So jumping into the daily chart with you guys here on the SPY, again, going into our candle structure off the bat, as you guys can see, again, getting a doji candle and a gap down after a momentum candle to the downside. It looks very similar to what we saw previously on one of the largest rallies that we had of the year. As you guys can see, we had anticipation leading into Powell. We had that gap down, and then we had CPI coming out shortly after. We had that gap down on that anticipation, and again, mentioned if we do get that possible pullback, as we have been anticipating a possible pivot leading into Powell, then we could have momentum to the downside. Again, mentioned this yesterday, and sure enough, continuing on lower below our 50-day moving average, and looking to see if our 20-day does continue to curl back over here. If our 20-day does start to continue to curl back over here, then we will have a continuation on lower. In my opinion, we will test lows of the year, and the only thing that's saving us from lows of the year, in my opinion, is if CPI were to be lower than expected going into next Thursday. Again, CPI will come out. Again, Jerome Powell mentioned that, of course, we are data driven, but also that CPI in particular is something that the Feds definitely do watch. So again, looking to see if we continue on with that strength to the lower end of our channel. Now, looking at our overall strength here, again, this is our MACD showing us our buy pressure and our sell pressure. As you guys can see, we have been decreasing in buy pressure, getting sell pressure coming in. As you guys can see, our 12 EMA is still above our 26. However, if we do cross down, then we could have a possible gap down. We are going to be careful. But again, leading into next week's CPI, very much going to predicate where we are going to continue to head. If we get a bad CPI, if we get an increase in CPI, then we will continue on with that gap down. And again, we mentioned prior, as we did have the largest rally of the year, that if we did continue on lower like we did prior, before we did break above the median of MACD, again, getting that false breakout here, that is a possibility that we could be looking for if, again, CPI comes out higher than expected. So just being very careful here, as our 12 EMA is coming very close to our 26. We do not want to see it cross down. However, if it does, we just need to make sure we are being careful leading into CPI. And as you guys can see, as far as room to run to the downside, again, we did drop down below the median of RSI yesterday, showing us that weakness, showing us that we could possibly be looking to see if we do drop into oversold territory again. So looking to see if we do jump back above the median of RSI from here, again, testing our prior lows before we did break above the median of RSI. If we do continue on below this point, then we can continue on lower with strength. And again, we will have that possible oversold move again if CPI does not come out as low as Powell needs. So just keeping an eye on that. Now looking at our levels here, again, as you guys can see, we did gap down at our 375 level that we were tracking. As you guys can see, gapping down to our next strongest level here that we are now tracking here at 365. Again, just overall from here, making sure we are careful, since again, we do have our anticipation that we had leading into Powell after Tim Morose again mentioned that possible pivot. A Wall Street journalist mentioning this, and as you guys can see, Powell did not pivot. He very much did follow his data, as we have been talking about. Again, CPI has not been nearly as close as I know that he's been looking for. It has not been decreasing at a major number. So again, just looking to see if CPI gets at least below 8.0, and in my opinion, that would give a possible bounce back in the market. We could just come right down to the lower end of our channel here and possibly have that bounce on that 8.0 CPI. So again, just making sure we are cautious as we are pulling back into anticipation that we no longer have proof of concept for. So again, making sure we are careful. Now again, with that said, if you are a day trader or you are looking for any breakout that is worth looking at throughout the day, we mentioned them in the Instables room. Go to instables.com in the description below, and you will never miss a breakout alert today again. And again, all of you Instables that come over every single day and support the channel, again, a very nice play to the downside if you guys did play this. But again, just taking what the market gives us. Again, the market very choppy today as we had our digestion on Powell today. So again, just taking what the market gives us leading into next week's CPI on Thursday, looking for that below 8.0 report to come in my opinion, for a possible bounce bounce. We'll see exactly what happens. And again, if you guys do like this video, it does help the channel grow, and I do appreciate it very much. And I hope you guys are staying blessed. Much love to everyone, you guys, and I'll see you guys in pre-market.